Drum roll, please. Welcome to another episode of Hell's Microphone. My name is Diego, and let's jump right into the shit. I kind of want to talk about video games today. Why video games? Well, I really shouldn't be talking about video games. That's not my thing. That's more of Jeremy's thing. But you know what? I feel obligated to talk about video games today, so that's what I'm fucking do. Let's jump right into this. Now, I love video games with a passion because, I grew up my whole life playing video games, from when I was a little kid. I'm probably saying way too much, but whatever. When I was a little kid, the first console I ever got was a PlayStation 1, and I remember the first game I played was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and I loved that game. And then as time went on, I started to get more consoles, like PlayStation 2, the Nintendo GameCube. I was never an Xbox kid. I was always a PlayStation kid, or, I had my Nintendo GameCube, and I loved the death out of that thing. I used to play, like, Mario Kart Double Dash, and that was the shit, man. If you guys don't know what Mario Kart Double Dash is, you need to learn about Mario Kart Double Dash, because that game was fucking amazing, and I can't stress enough how cool it was, and how much I loved it. People are like, Mario Kart 64, and, maybe the newer Mario Karts, but I'm like, Double Dash, my personal favorite. And I loved my GameCube. I loved my PlayStation 2. My PlayStation 2 was probably the console I had for the longest amount of time. I had it for more than 10 years, and I loved the death out of that thing. Because, I grew up playing my PlayStation 2, and that thing withstood time, man. Like, I used to have, all the Guitar Hero games, Battlefront, whatever there was. I never played Call of Duty on my PlayStation 2. I never got into Call of Duty until I was in my PlayStation 3 years. But, I love video games. And a lot of people do too. Video games are a great aspect of our lives nowadays. Like, if you look on YouTube, there are like 1 billion gaming channels, each with their own different commentators. And, everyone's always got their own opinion on these video games, and they play them. And some people are more skilled than others. Some people, they play them, and they play them horribly on purpose for comedic relief. And, that's funny, and it's cool. And video games have become such a large aspect in our lives. And, I was actually, I love movies a lot. And this cool movie with Mark Wahlberg, I don't know if you guys have heard about it. It's called Lone Survivor, and it's about Iraqi soldiers who he becomes a lone survivor. Like, everyone in his squad gets killed, but he said in an interview that to rehearse and prepare for the movie, they would play Call of Duty. And in my mind, that was the funniest thing ever, and it was like the coolest thing ever. And I was like, see, even actors play video games to help get in their roles. And video game movies haven't done too well. I feel like they've had Hollywood has tried to appeal to the great portion of people that play video games, but they haven't executed it properly, and therefore it kind of sucks. The only good video game movie that I could think of is Silent Hill. And I haven't played the video game Silent Hill that in a long time, but I love the movie. And Silent Hill Revelations, it wasn't that great of a movie, but I still like it. It's one of those movies that I watch when I'm home alone, and I have nothing better to do. But that's not saying much about me because I watch a lot of stupid shit. But anyways, back to video games. I'm getting off track here. Video games are cool. The first video games were invented back in the I think they were invented back in the 60s or the 70s. I want to say 70s because 70s sounds better. And 70s they used to have Pong with the wood paneling, and boop, 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 used to have first home Atari wasn't the first home console. Before there was the Magnavox Odyssey, which I don't even know how you can consider that a video game console, because it would have TV overlays that you would put on the actual TV, and then you would use that to play. And there was no buttons. There was just a cursor to move and shit. Or actually, I think there were buttons, but I'm not fucking sure. I really don't know at this point. Anyways, but it was pretty. Video games. They created a lot of these companies that nowadays are fucking rich as hell. Sony wasn't created on video games. They have a lot of other shit. Xbox, which is a side project of Microsoft. Microsoft, if you don't know, was the company Bill Gates created, after he bailed on Steve Jobs. It was like, I'm gonna fucking steal your idea. Who gives a shit? Anyways, he stole another idea. He stole the home video console. Made the Xbox. But Xbox, which started off as a project from Bill Gates, is now this like home renowned, like home known name. Like all these homes, like people know it. You talk on the streets and everyone's like Xbox, or everyone's like PlayStation, Sony. It's like and then like you got people like, I play PC, and then they think they're better than everyone. But who honestly cares? But people, they built their lives on video games. There are people who make money by playing video games. There are people who play in tournaments for video games, and not even new video games. There are people who play tournaments for Smash Melee. If you don't know what Smash Melee is, Super Smash Brothers Melee was a game created a while back ago for GameCube, created for GameCube, and nowadays in 2016, you think that that game would be outdated? No, people still hold like international tournaments for that shit. There are world-renowned players who will wipe any of our asses in that shit, and it just goes to show you that just because a game is older doesn't mean it's not outdated, because people still play that shit. And I still play older games. One of my favorite games is Doom, and I know you guys are probably thinking, oh Diego, that's just because the new one came out and you're only thinking about the past because the new one came out and you like playing the old ones because it makes you look cool. No, I've been playing the old Doom games since I was little because my dad played them. And which sounds weird because like if you know my dad, which none of you do, my dad does not seem like the person who will play any type of video game. But he used to play Doom when it was on a floppy disk, and I think it was like DOS or something. I forgot what it was, but he told me that's how you play, and it was on the floppy disk. And he showed me pictures that he had with this old big ass beige computer, which is an ugly color. I don't know why people chose beige, but he used to play it, and then he got me into it when I was of age, which was about 8, and I loved the game. And then I was like, "Hey, Dad, did you know that they made a Doom 3?" And he was like, "Oh, I don't play that one." And I was like, "Okay, no, I don't play it either." I don't really like Doom 3, but I like Doom 1 and 2, and the graphics aren't that great. But the fluidity of the game and the playability and the soundtrack and everything about that game, it's so great. And the new Doom 4, but they just call it Doom, it's a great game. I bought it $60, but I was like, hey, this game's fucking amazing. And it truly is. And, it's like, it's really, I can't really put it into words, It's just cool. That's all it is. It's cool. That's all I can think of. Cool. Cool is my word. I'm using it. Cool. It's cool, man. It's freaking cool. That's all the time I have today for Hell's Microphone. And why don't you guys subscribe, like the video, share it with your family members, share it with your cousin, share it with that next door neighbor that always steals your newspaper. Fucking Richard. You share it with him, man. Tell him, be like, hey, man, I know you steal my newspaper, but here, watch this video. It's pretty cool. Share it with everyone, man. Help us get out there. That's all the time I have, guys. I'll catch you later. Goodbye.